Hey guys, Kevin Shaw here, editor-in-chief of Mopar Connection Magazine. I thought I'd do something a little different today. In fact, it's pretty early in the morning. You can hear the birds are singing, and not a lot of people are up at this hour, which I don't blame them. But I thought it would be a good opportunity to bring you guys up to speed as to some of the projects we're working on, especially because we haven't published any video in the last couple weeks. And that really is a personal choice. You'll see a lot of video channels that will rush to crank out something every week because they got to keep the YouTube algorithm really happy. And if you don't publish every week, they'll start making it really hard for your videos to come up and effectively kill your channel. So a lot of people who are content creators will scramble at the last minute to throw something together, and a lot of channels that focus on automotive projects sometimes will actually rob parts from running cars to throw them on other cars. They'll go out to Facebook Marketplace and buy some piece of junk just so that they can throw some parts at it and see if it'll run, just so that they can keep their viewership happy and, more importantly, the YouTube algorithm. And because Mopar Connection Magazine is a magazine first, and we focus almost all of our effort on producing really good articles for you guys so that you can get your cars up and running or running better, I'm not really concerned with thrashing to get a video out. So this one's going to be a little bit more talking, a little bit more walking around the shop, really not throwing a car together. So maybe some of you guys are going to tune out, but I'll keep you up to speed on some of the stuff we're working on. And quite frankly, just some of the stuff that breaks in upcoming projects. So first, we'll give you an update on the 505. Right now, we're waiting on a couple parts. Nothing too crazy, just needing to dial in our combination a little bit before we go to the dyno. We do have the correct non-AC pulley. We got that off of Jim Hannon. Thankfully, he was helpful in getting us that. We're going to use one of the underdrive pulleys that we got from Tony DeFeo. Here's the last remaining boxes of some of the parts that we bought off of Tony. One of the things is that we're going to be replacing this Proform distributor with a Pertronix, because unfortunately this is more for a stock application. It'd be great, say in Marcia, but not for a big 600 horsepower trick flow headed monster stroker motor. So we're going with the Pertronix. They're sending out a plug wire set and a coil, and with that we should be pretty much dialed in once we have our pulleys sandblasted and painted and get a belt on it, and we should be in good shape. The only thing that we are missing, of course, is a set of headers. Now you're looking at a set of Hooker C-body headers. We were going to show a little bit of a comparison as to what to do when you want to clearance headers. Obviously we have a clearance problem right here with the number one. That's a no good. And we thought, oh hey, we'll radius that. But again, this engine's not going in Marcia, and we're not using the trick flow heads in Marcia. So I kind of thought, well, hey, it might make for a good video of how to beat the tar out of your headers and maybe do it in a clean way. But I didn't want to ruin the headers just for a video. So I kind of voted against that. Maybe a few of you guys are like, oh man, that'd be a great video. I'd love to see that. And maybe when the time comes to put these headers in Marcia with a 440, we can show you some of the ways to clearance headers that we prefer that just isn't going to beat the snot out of them. I really hate the idea of beating up a set of headers just for the sake of a video. So apart from a couple little parts, obviously from Pertronix, and getting our ignition dialed in, we're otherwise pretty much ready to go. That and of course our pulleys. So we should have this on the dyno by the end of the month, finally. That's been a big thing for us. Going back over some of the loose parts here, obviously I got a bunch of old junk that I got off of Tony DeFeo. Still need to find a home for that. And this big tub and our inline 6 is the remnants of our 4-liter build. We still have the engine block at Tommy's Auto and Machine. There's just a line. You're gonna have to wait for them. That's the way machine shops are. So we're waiting for them. Obviously, we need to find a 4.2-liter crank and a set of rods, and from there we're going to be able to order our pistons and move forward with that build. So hey, if any of you guys are sitting on a 4.2-liter that you want to part out, please let me know. We'll pay cash. We got to get a crank and some rods, and we're just talking bone stock stuff. So hit me up in the comment section if you happen to have a 4.2-liter. That would be great. That'd be really helpful. What do we got here? We got some more Marcia parts. This is the carpet kit that we had. We have the insulation. We have the carpet here. The floor is getting put in Marcia currently, so we're still a little ways away from putting the carpet in. But in addition to visiting Dave to do the carpet, of course, once the floor is in, we also have some firm feel suspension stuff that we need to install, and I'll walk over and show you a little bit of that. This is, of course, the torque flight for Marcia that's going to be going in eventually someday. Now, what's going on with the Charger? We have a couple things going on. We just took the car to get aligned, and front end alignment came out really good, but not perfect. It just so happened that very next night that the brake switch gave up the ghost, and we rushed out to get a replacement, and that replacement brake switch blew apart in our hands. The plunger literally shot out of the housing. So now we're waiting on a replacement to come in the mail. So we're just waiting on replacement parts, and once we have that, we'll actually do an update on our alignment situation, because we actually have a little too much negative caster. We need to get positive caster in this car, and so we worked with the guys at Swag Performance and Automotive up in Cottontown, and they got us close. Not perfect, but we're really close. So they suggested that we get a set of adjustable strut rods. We reached out to our friends at QA1, and QA1 immediately sent out a set of adjustable strut rods. Once we get those in, we'll show you how to put them in. So once that's done, we're going to have an update on our alignment and finally have this car running perfectly straight. So that's the next step for the Charger. We do have our firm feel parts. We've got, oh boy, let's see here. This is that's our Edelbrock carburetor for Marcia. Just move you aside. We have got lots of new hardware from Firm Feel. I think I did an unboxing earlier, and just to get our steering tightened up, new ball joints. I know the lighting kind of sucks. Sorry, I'm standing in the light. But we're going to do an update on that. We got to go visit Marcia. Oh, yeah. C-body stuff is always huge. So we got our end links, we got our tie rods. So we're going to do an update on some suspension parts. Nothing crazy, but just tightening up the C-body a little bit. I think a lot of people will appreciate seeing an update on Marcia, seeing how the progress is going. Let's show you the Hemi. We have something going on here. You'll notice I'm down ahead. Got the cylinder head here, down ahead. We have our AARP head bolt kit. We bought that off of Facebook Marketplace. Very grateful to the guys who listed that. Got a killer deal on it. Very, very happy. But we might have mentioned, and I can't remember if I did or didn't, this valve train, the pedestals, simply do not work on the Edelbrock heads. These are stage 5. Stage 5 are proprietary designs that won't work on the Edelbrock head. Let me move these aside. And yeah, unfortunately, the stage 5s just won't work with the single bolt pedestals. So we had reached out after meeting with the guys at Reed Machine, and for you guys who are into high performance drag racing, you'll know the name Reed. Reed does all the billet, really crazy alcohol valve train setups. Big dollar, I mean really, really big dollar, high performance, roller rockers, beautiful, beautiful stuff. I mean, it's artwork. Well, we reached out to them after we had talked at PRI, which is the trade show that they do in Indianapolis, and got a phone call from Daryl Reed himself. And he says, you know, Kevin, I've had a lot of people interested in me making a street strip application for just gasoline applications. And really my biggest problem is just getting my hands on a set of these heads. So I boxed up one of the heads and sent them out to Daryl, and we might be working on helping develop a absolutely amazing set of roller rocker and pedestal mounts, a full valve train setup for the Edelbrock head, which will also work on a stock head from Reed. So for you guys who are looking at having either Edelbrock heads or stock iron heads and want to use some really, really precision machined material, valve train material, and have the geometry be just perfect, we might be helping you out. It's going to take a while. The parts, you know, parts don't happen overnight, and that stuff just takes a while to develop. Something that I and the team at Mopar Connection are really proud about is that we've been able to help a lot of manufacturers get their hands on product to replicate, replicate parts that are no longer available, or to find stuff to fit. So whether it's cars or engines or, like I said, cylinder heads, we are really hands-on in helping Year One, Classic Industries, Reed Racing, whoever it is, to get their hands on some cars or some product so that they can develop aftermarket products so that, again, more of you guys can get your stuff on the road. So that's something that we're pretty stoked on. This is one of a pair. We actually have 3 pairs of pretty basic stock smog heads, 440 smog heads. You'll see they're open chamber, and these are going to get cleaned up, stripped down. We're going to do some port match work, a little bit of bowl work, and get these ready to be on top of Marcia's 440 that we need to put together. That's going to be something later in the season, but we're just getting everything measured up using these iron heads. In fact, I was going to use this head to mock up that Hooker C-body header. So you'll see more of these in the future. And speaking of cylinder heads, here again is our inline 6 Jeep head. It's just here sitting pretty for the time being, but that's obviously going to be topping our 4.7 liter stroker motor. So that's something to look forward to. This is our Borgeson power steering box that and pump. We're going to be updating the power steering box and pump on Marcia, because it's leaking. It's really the only failure that we have currently that makes it somewhat unreliable, because you constantly have to keep putting power steering fluid in it. It just leaks like a sieve. So we're going to update the pump and get to a better ratio box that's a little bit lighter. Here is a factory C-body box and the Borgeson box. And so that's going to be an update that we'll be doing on Marcia in the future. Okay, well, that is just a glimpse of some of the projects in my garage. We have, oh boy, we got a lot of work going on Jim's projects. We're building a 440 for him. We've got his 413 that we're going to do some work on that engine. We also have some really cool stuff happening for his GTX. It's just about to get out of paint. I say GTX, and that was a little bit of a misstep. It's a Belvedere, but we're going to be doing a GTX cloning onto the Belvedere. and that's something that we're really excited about. We're going to be working with Classic Industries with that, so that'll be something really cool, and making a little bit of a modded GTX. It's already got the 5-speed Tremec kit from American Powertrain, and we're building a 440 for it, and we're looking at doing fuel injection. So again, some pretty cool stuff to look forward to. So guys, I hope that was a little bit of an update, but I want to thank you for subscribing to the channel, for checking out Mopar Connection Magazine, for subscribing to our newsletter. That's the big thing, is we send 2 newsletters out every week. We send a recap of all the articles that we publish on the magazine every Friday, and we do a video newsletter that's kind of an update of our video content, as well as other videos that we like or that we're watching on YouTube. And so thank you to all you guys who subscribe to that newsletter. You're what's making this magazine possible. We really appreciate it. Thanks again for all the comments. Thanks again for the emails that come in. Guys, we want to help everyone get their cars out on the road and enjoy it as much as humanly possible. So hopefully we're doing our job. Please let us know. And for all of you who are new, if you want more awesome Mopar content like this, you can like and subscribe to this channel, as well as go over and visit us at www.Mopar Connection Magazine, where new articles are written and published every day, entirely subscription free. There's no downloads, there's no passwords, there's no firewall. You simply go to Mopar Connection Magazine and you can read all the articles. They're entirely free to you. We publish Monday through Friday. So please check it out. We know you'll love it. We'll see you there.